hustle just to get that moolah. If you were ever going to impulse buy something, it needs to be this book. And stack my change up, then go see that Jula. There are really black women making $100,000 per month, like every month. This right here, this book, it's an investment. You need to buy it. Stand in that kitchen, no, we'll put that work. Every 30 days. I love that for us. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Bougie Black Girls Book Club. I am your host, India, but you can call me BME Queen. I will never stop talking about this book. I will never stop talking about this book. This book is so good. We're going to be talking about We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rodgers. I am just gobsmacked. The contents of this book, so good. So good. Wow. You need to get this. I did a couple videos on this on TikTok because it was really that good. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. Let's get into what happens in this book. As usual, I'm going to be giving my ease of read and then some key messages and points that I really enjoyed while reading this book. So let's get into it. Okay, we are back. I had to get my glasses to make this official. Book club look you can find link in my description. Okay, so I took so many notes in this book because I loved it that much. I saw this on a friend's Instagram page and I was like, all right, let me just see what this is about, see if it's gonna be a good book, you know. If not, like, whatever, right, it's another money book. But this was really good. This was definitely worth the buy. You can see I got a soft cover. Normally I read all of my books on my iPad and I did not do that this time, and I'm so happy that I didn't because I'm probably gonna reread this one. Gotta reread many books, but I'm probably gonna reread this one. First things first, I talk about mostly black books on this channel. This is a black channel. I would say 30% of the books that I read are in personal finance. And I know a lot of people don't like talking about money, but I don't mind. Lucky for you, I'm talking about all the money in the world, because money moves everything around me. Cream, get the money, dollar bills, y'all, okay? I will probably be talking about this book in addition to other black money books, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm not trying to be working for the rest of my life. It's not really the vibe, you know. I just can't really get into going to a job every day. It's just not for me. I would much rather be sitting on a margarita on the beach, you know, living my best life and not having to worry about asking someone to take time off. That's my vibe. I don't know about yours, but hopefully if you are on that same wavelength, you are going to really enjoy this review and this book. So let's talk about it. My ease of reading that I gave this book was a 5 out of 5. It is a longer money book that has a lot of personal anecdotes, which I really liked. My money books I tend to read tend to be focused on the reader and not actually on the storyteller or the author of the book. This book, she talks a lot about her personal experiences with finances and with starting her own business and growing her business while also raising her kids and, you know, having a family and all that stuff. I think this is a really easy book to read. It did take me a little bit of time to read it because it is a pretty hefty book. So I would definitely recommend that you read this when you have time, like dedicated time where you can focus, and even sit down with like a few highlighters and some note cards and like take notes for this book, because there's a lot of information in here, mostly inspirational, which is really great. It's not all about the numbers, it's not all about the money. It's more about motivation and encouragement for women, especially black women, who not so much talking about actual details of money. So I think it is a pretty easy read. That's why I give it a 5 out of 5. Now, some key messages from this book. Oh my gosh, there were so many. Every day that I read this book, like I said, I read in the mornings. That's a part of my morning routine. By the way, I will be doing a morning routine video very shortly, because I did get some questions on TikTok about how do I design my morning routine to make sure that I read every single day. So stay tuned for that video. But every day that I read this book, I was so incredibly inspired to just get up and do something. And I love this so much about this book. There's so many things I want to talk about. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep it short because I don't want to ruin the book for y'all. Like, I still want y'all to go read it. So I think if you get it directly from the horse's mouth, it will hit home for you. Okay, you need to read the book. Early on in the book, she talks about $1 million thoughts versus broke thoughts. To be a $1 million woman versus being a broke woman. And I love this. She even has like full charts of examples of what would be $1 million thought versus a brokety broke book thought. Example of this though would be I am capable of cooking for my family, so I'm gonna go cook. No matter how much time it takes, I'm gonna go cook and make sure I cook for my family every single day. That's a broke thought, okay? $1 million thought would be, you know, we gotta eat, but I don't have to do the cooking, okay? So I'm gonna go hire somebody to cook for us, and that way I can spend my leisure time, or the time that I'm not cooking, doing the things that I need to keep making money and to build this business. Then she even goes into like what it's like to hire people. Building your business requires you to scale, and to scale you have to hire people, but not hire people to necessarily work for you in the business, but to help you improve your business. So another example, let's say you have kids. I don't have kids, but this is just an example in the book. So if you have kids and you have to drop them off at school every single day, instead of going to drop them off at school every single day, you hire somebody like a babysitter, a nanny, a driver to go to your kids to school every single day, so that way you don't have to leave the house and you can actually spend that time focusing on your business. And this really hit me hard because I spend so much time doing small errands that I genuinely hate. I hate going to the grocery store. I hate it so much. And this year I started to do HelloFresh, or just like delivery services in general for food, because it is so emotionally taxing on me to go to the grocery store. So like a personal example for me, but there's so many ways where you can do this. And then she even talks about the cost of hiring people to do these things, which in my mind would be like, oh my God, I gotta pay so much money to get someone to cook me food, right? You really don't. It gives like price ranges for different types of services that you can pay people for, but the main example I take away from this is that you can just start paying someone 20 bucks an hour to go do something for you. For me, that would be paying someone to go drop off the packages at UPS, or paying someone to pick up my packages from my PO box, or paying someone to do the grocery shopping for me, aka Instacart. I use it all the time. Things like that, they really aren't expensive, but by you freeing up your time and your mental space, you can be able to build your business and spend that time like thinking of other ways to bring in more income. The incredible stats that stuck out to me was that in her first year of running her business, she made $50,000. And then in her second year, she started to implement these things where she got a personal assistant, she got a chef, she just got people to help her to delegate her responsibilities to others. And she was able to make $300,000 in her second year. From $50,000 to $300,000. That is insane. That is mind-boggling. She even has a conference. Someone told me about this on TikTok actually. She has an annual conference that she hosts for women, and she does like inspirational, motivational speeches and, you know, seminars, workshops, yada yada. And one of the seminars that they had, they talk about, her and a bunch of panelists and other women talk about how they were able to scale their businesses. I kid you not, these women are making $100,000 per month. Every month, every 30 days, $100,000. I love that for us. I love that. I love that. Black women winning, that's my favorite genre. I love it. I love it so much. That one was incredible. Let me go get a glass of wine before I get into the second half of this review. I don't have wine, but I do have cran apple juice, and I'm gonna drink it in a wine glass. Let's get on to the second part of this review. This part's super important. It's about how women especially feel guilty about earning a lot of money. I love this part of the book. I did, because it's so true. If you are making so much money, like how is that you're able to do it, but you know, other people aren't, or other people are suffering. One of the things she talks about is that like people hold themselves back from making a lot of money because they don't want to feel that guilt, the guilt of success, if you will. A very, very important point that she makes is you are not able to fill someone else's cup unless yours is full first. I know we hear this all the time. Put your oxygen mask on first and blah, 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 blah. But in theory, how many women are actually doing that? Just like how many? Very, very few. Very few. If you make the money first, and you can use that money to change the world. It shouldn't be a barrier for you to earn less money, but instead be a motivator for you to want to earn more money. What a gem. What a gem. Here's to that. Well, this is another thing that I feel like holds people back so much, and I get questions about this all the time too. She says a lot of the reasons why people don't make money or earn high incomes is because they are afraid to start. To just start, to start the thing, to do the thing, right? People think that you need to have all the resources, you need to have all the knowledge, you need to have everything prepared and ready for when you start the thing. And the truth is, you really don't. You can make money like not having the thing set up. I started making content with just my iPhone and a $20 stand that I got on Amazon. That's it. I was making content from those two things for about a year and a half before I was like, oh, maybe I should like buy a microphone or something. That's it. And here we are 3 years later, right? I obviously still use my iPhone, but I just got this camera that I'm recording on. I am just now using it because I was able to make money from the two things that I used, my iPhone and my tripod stand, to be able to then afford the camera. I have the camera, I have the travel tripod, I still have the old tripod that's still going strong. She's going strong. What an investment. I didn't let me not having a camera stop me from making content in the first place. I made it on my phone, I posted the videos on TikTok, I posted the pictures on Instagram, and that was it. The quality as I have continued has improved, hopefully, because I'm spending a lot of money out here to make sure that it is. I didn't start out with all of these things in the beginning, so it's really cool that she enforces that you should just start and you will figure out ways to improve and thus be able to make more money. So I thought that was really, really important. So this last part I want to talk about, because I don't want to ruin the whole book for you. I want to make sure that you actually read it. The last like 2 chapters where I was just like so crazy. So he has a 10K in 10 days challenge in the end of the book. And this is wild to me. The idea of the 10K in 10 days challenge is that you will make $10,000 in a matter of 10 days. So the day that you decide, and then 10 days later, the goal is to make $10,000. Now, I know this sounds absolutely psychotic. Who can do that? Like, that's absolutely so crazy. So she starts this challenge and she tells the women, you know, you can adjust your goal depending on what is relative to your business, right? For some people, 10K is very little. For some people, 10K is just like way too much. So you can kind of adjust a little bit. But what she says is that you don't necessarily have to make that 10K or, you know, your goal within your business, right? You can make it from selling stuff that you already own. You can make it from offering, I don't know, babysitting services. You can make it from offering like other things, but it's just a way for you to get your mind working to start to see opportunities for you to make more money. And I thought this was so clever. She even goes to give a full, like I think 3 pages of additional ways that you can make more income that don't necessarily have to involve you creating an entire business or business plan or anything like that. The woman signed up for the challenge and she set her goal out to make however much money, let's just use 10K as an example, that by the end of the 10 days she made way more money than one she was expecting and way more money than she would have made if she didn't join the challenge. I think this is such a cool way to start to open up your mind and think of possibilities for creating passive income, because a lot of people, and nowadays like we're in this very tricky money situation. The pandemic has been crazy, the recession has been nuts. People are looking for other ways to make more money that don't necessarily mean from their job. And I encourage anyone to try to do this challenge. The goal for yourself, even if it's $1,000 or $500 or whatever, to think about what are some ways that you can make money that are legal and also have you generate additional income, and then you can continue to build off of every single month. I thought this was such a clever book. I thought this was so inspirational. Like I said, I read it every single day, and by the end I was just like completely and totally fascinated by Rachel Rodgers. The things I'm gonna do is look into going to her conference that she has, or the workshops that she gives. So I think they are just so motivational. See Black women making so much money every single month. The sky is the limit. The sky is truly the limit. So I hope you guys really enjoy this book. I hope something rings a bell for you and it starts to get you thinking just a little bit. If you like this book, if you like this review, please leave a comment below and let me know what you think about it. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would love to see you more and to hear about more books that either you want or that you really enjoyed. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. Bye.